Hello everyone. Today we're going to go over a few more examples involving areas under curves. But before we begin that, let's just have a look at the remaining questions from last class. So quick look, you can pause it if you need, and we're going to move on. So we're going to start with example number 3. We need to determine the area under this curve. Good news, we've already done that on the previous page. Where did the derivative come from? It came from this expression, 3e to the x squared plus c. So the area here will be capital Y at 1 minus capital Y at 0. So everywhere you see a x, you're going to put a 1 in here. So it'll be 3e to the 1 squared plus c minus 3e to the 0 squared plus c. And this will just be e to the 1, so we'll have 3e plus c minus, and then e to the 0, anything to the 0 is 1, so we'll have minus 3 plus c. So if we're subtracting c from c, those are gone, and we end up with 3e minus 3. And I guess we can factor out a 3, so it would be 3e minus 1 units squared. So on to example number 4. We need to determine the area under this curve. Where did this derivative come from? Unfortunately, we did not do that yet on the previous page, but it would come from negative 1/3 x cubed minus 2x squared plus c. Now the derivative of this would give that. So that's great, but what are the boundaries on the area? So we have an added step here. We need to figure out these two numbers here. We can do that by setting y equals 0 and then solving for x, but you can see it in the graph right there. So it's at negative 4 and 0. So the area will be capital Y at 0 minus capital Y at negative 4. So you're going to sub in a 0 everywhere you see an x in here. So it'll be negative 1/3 0 cubed minus 2 times 0 squared plus c. And then you're going to subtract from that negative 1/3 negative 4 cubed minus 2 negative 4 squared plus c. And that will eventually give you, this is 0, that's 0, so you're just left with c in that first bit. And then you're going to subtract 64/3 minus 32 plus c. Now c minus c is 0. So next we're going to have 32 minus 64/3, which would eventually give us 32/3 units squared. So this last example I'm going to leave for you to do is a helpful picture here. You need to figure out where this derivative came from. So that's going to be your first step. And you got to figure out the left and right boundary. It gives you the right boundary already. And then you just need to figure out what the left boundary is. So that's it for me for today. See you next time.